Hello and welcome back to another Warlords of Draenor video. So today I'm going to be showing you the lumber mill that's present in your garrison. Now the lumber mill is basically just used to chop down trees, and when you chop the trees down you'll get some resources for your garrison, which is pretty cool. Now the more you upgrade your lumber mill, then the larger the trees are that you can chop down, and of course you'll get access to more work orders per day. This is one of the medium tier garrison buildings, so it's definitely quite the decision to take this thing up. Anyway, so the first thing you get is this quest from Justin Timberlord. Hey, guess what, guys? Blizzard's still trying too hard with its references. Anyway, so Justin Timberlord will send you off to cut down a tree. This is just like a little training mission, but since this is the first time I've done it, I think I'm okay with getting a training mission. So I'm going to run off, and yeah, we'll cut back. Okay, so as it turns out, the very first tree is actually really close to the garrison. Now, the lumber mill trees are all going to be outlined with just an outliney thing because, well, it'd be a bit ridiculous if you could just chop down every tree in the zone, and yeah, that would be weird. So, here is our small timber tree. We'll see what goes on here. Oh, wait, we're mounted, so apparently it didn't work. And now it's making noises, but I can't click anything. Fantastic. Don't you love it when we break things? Okay, so I've just taken up the quest again and, like, commanding it and stuff, so let's go and hopefully do this successfully. Alright then, logging done. So basically this lumberjack guy comes, and I'm going to assume that he will eventually chop this down. Alright, so he does that, disappears, and we get a timber sample. I suppose it's only a sample because this is just a little starter quest. Alright, fair enough. Let's head back to Mr. Timberlord. Timberlord. I'm an idiot. Okay then, here we are. So let's see what we get from this quest. We just learn apprentice logging, which will allow us to harvest the smaller trees, and then we also get 100 garrison resources for the quest. So we've got another quest to collect 50 pieces of lumber from around Draenor, and then place a work order at the mill. Now if you don't know what a work order is, it's basically just like, you hand in X amount of a resource, and they will process it into something. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm going to go and collect 50 of them. I know, maybe I'll do a highlight reel for you of all the intense and sweaty logging action that goes on. Okay, just one thing I do want to mention here. The trees are actually really visible, even from afar. They're clearly outlined, so that's pretty cool, and they also will appear on your map like that. Again, they're great usability features, and that's absolutely what I would want. Alright then, so we've got our 50 lumber. Now that took, I'd say, just under 10 minutes. The respawns were actually rather forgiving. You probably saw in that footage there that I started off collecting trees in, I believe it was this area. Then I sort of traveled down here, and then by the time I got back, the trees here had respawned. So really, it feels just like you're mining or something like that. Anyway, we need to go and submit the work order to this guy, so let's go and do that. We've got our 53 timber, so we'll start the work order, and yeah, that will actually take a little bit of time. You can monitor your work orders by looking at the garrison report, and you can see here just the first one only takes a minute to complete. That's just so they can get you through the quest, which is pretty cool. Now then, let's talk to him. We'll finish the quest, gives us 50 gold, which is pretty nice, and now he's given us one to go and get a bigger tree. Ooh, but look at that, 300 garrison resources. That's not messing around. That's a lot of resources, you know? A medium building upgrade costs like 250, so that's certainly kind of sizable. Anyway, we've got another, like, 24 seconds to wait for the resource work order thingy, so we'll probably just wait for that before I head out and try to find one of these larger trees. I wonder where the larger tree is. Oh, look at that. It's here in Shadowmoon Valley as well. That's very convenient. Anyway, this work order should be conveniently finished. I just love having to fill dead air. It's a lot of fun, must admit. And, yeah, there we go. So, this is finished, which means that these boxes will appear. When I click on them, I get 100 garrison resources. So, basically, one of the things that you get, well, the main thing you get from the lumber mill is lots of garrison resources. So, if you really want to build up a garrison, or perhaps if you plan on switching up loads of buildings, this is a fantastic way to do it. You see, with garrison buildings, like, say, the stables, right? The permanent reward for the stable is things like your tile book mounts and stuff like that. But if you don't care about the passive benefit of the stable, then you can just build a stable, then get your permanent reward, then replace it with something else. And if you're going to be doing that, I suppose it will take a little bit of gold, yes, but also quite a few garrison resources. So I suppose it's just convenient, you know, to be able to get a lot of those garrison resources through the lumber mill and use them like that. Now, another thing that you can do with garrison resources is trade them in for crafting materials at the, I forget what it's called, like the trading hub place thingy inside your garrison. It's one of the buildings. I'll probably show you that in either a future video or this video, or like something, I don't know, maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. I don't really know what my schedule is. Anyway, so we get slightly more badass lumber guys this time. That's pretty cool. You need a tree murdered. Yeah, that's pretty cool. As far as lumberjacking goes, I think that's a decently legit way to do it. Now, what will be interesting to see is just how much more lumber we get from them versus the small trees. Now then, in terms of how much you'll be able to farm this a day, once you get the level 3 one, you'll be able to do 5 work orders, and since a work order is 50 lumber, you'll be able to get, you know, 5 work orders worth, so 250 lumber. Now, on small trees alone, it took me 10 minutes, roughly, to get 50 lumber, so that's a decent bit of gameplay there, I suppose, if you really wanted to do this every day. And one interesting thing about it is just how it does, because of the trade hub place, which is that building over there, yeah, just because of the way it interacts with that, it's actually a way of getting, I suppose, an okay-ish amount of resources. Anyway, so let's go back to this guy and see what he has to say. So that's done. We get some garrison resources, and that would be us. I can't get large trees at the minute. The reason why I can't get large trees is because I don't have the level 3 lumber mill. So that's what's going on there. Now, by the way, I do plan on doing a full preview of, you know, just all the medium buildings and all that stuff so that I can talk about their interactions, but I think that just doing these little one-off videos is really good for walking people through just how the building works, you know, the details of everything. Yep, sorry about that. My game crashed, which was great. Anyway, look, I'm just going to find another medium tree, and we'll cut ahead to that just to see how much timber it gets us. Alright, so it seems as if the medium trees are a little bit rare. I've been running around for a bit of time, and quite frankly, I can't really find any of them. Now look, there's nothing really missing here, basically just they give you a bit more lumber. So in terms of just one or two quick little other notes for this building, there are 2 vanity items that we've currently found. The very first one is a, it's basically just this unused item that will let you turn into a tree for a certain amount of time. Basically, it's just a little, you know, fun item. And basically, you get that by killing a petrified ancient. Now, there are 4 different ancients that are throughout Draenor, and you can kill them, and they actually spawn by chopping down medium trees. So, once you kill them, or, you know, chop down the trees, the ancients spawn to, I suppose, protect the trees. Then you kill the ancients, and when you complete the quest, you get this item that will transform you into a tree for a while, which is pretty cool. Then finally, there is an item that is to do with these 2 Barov guys, 2 brothers, and yeah, I don't want to spoil the story of that quest, but basically it just gives you like this little trinket, which has got an unused ability that summons some lumberjacks in to help you fight for a while. And that's basically it so far in terms of the lumber mill. I don't know if they're going to add more. Certainly though, it's a bit of fun, you know, going around, getting garrison resources and doing all that stuff. And I suppose the only reason why this building is interesting is because those garrison resources can be used for other means, like, you know, trading with the, you know, the trading building and little things like that. So that's it for the lumber mill. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Okay, so I actually, just after I signed off that video, I found a fallen tree, so let's go and see what's up with this. Yeah, interesting. There appears to be someone who is struggling a little bit, though, so yeah, right, so our lumberjack comes and says he'll do that. Okay. He's very strong if he can chop through this on his own, I'll say that much. Right, this is interesting. By the way, there's a large tree, which I can't really use. So this guy says, thanks for my assistance, here's a token of my gratitude. I heard a noise, but it doesn't look like I got anything. Oh no, it's this Weldon Barov guy, never mind. So, yeah, there you go, we get him as a follower, and I believe that later on at some point we can end up finding his brother and killing him due to some quest, and that's what gives me the trinket that I talked about. So yeah, there you go. That's it for this video, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.